want to talk about how I used to think decluttering was about organizing your stuff. Finding the right bins, creating the right system, making things look nice. But I learned that clutter is not actually the problem. And if you've ever been intrigued by decluttering, like you like the idea of it, but you don't think you could ever follow through, or it sounds nice in practice, but you couldn't actually do it, this is a video for you. It's not a typical decluttering video, but I think it has a lot of value packed into it. Because what I thought decluttering would be when I first started out turned out to be easier than I expected, but also harder in ways that I didn't anticipate. So let's break that down. When I first started simplifying, I had my first child, and I felt completely inundated by the amount of things that we had for him. And fast forward 2 years from then, we had moved, we were preparing for our second baby, and I could feel that everything we had accumulated was affecting me and really the way that I was mothering. And I had this really simple realization: babies and kids don't need all the gadgets and solutions that we are sold. They need an undistracted parent who can respond to them calmly. And that's when it clicked for me. I'm one of those crunchy moms. Take that as you will, but I'm one of the crunchiest moms probably that you'll ever meet. And I'm not afraid of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not scared of it. So this is where I had to reframe decluttering, because it isn't just about the stuff. Decluttering is a way to ease your mental load as a mom, as a woman, because with less to manage, you have less to think about. And with less to think about, your mental load naturally lowers. It's crazy, right? Crazy. And that's why decluttering is so relieving. Not because your house looks better, but because your brain doesn't have to take in all this information. It gets a break, which is a beautiful thing. After realizing that this mental load, I don't have to think about things as much, I realized decluttering is a skill. And I really started to see decluttering as a muscle that you build, like a skill that you can practice. Being an athlete, I loved that. I can build this muscle. This is cool. This is fun. But honestly, it doesn't look the same for everyone. Our homes are different. Our values are different. And what overwhelms me might not overwhelm you. Decluttering always reveals what you value. What do you keep? It really helps you get honest about what actually supports your life and what quietly is draining you. Now, I feel like there's this cultural lie in here that every problem needs a purchased solution. More bins, more organizers, more stuff. When in reality, most of us already have more than enough. And what we're actually craving and needing is clarity. For me, one of the best ways to find clarity is through experimentation. I first started decluttering as an experiment. And if you're new to it, I think you should try it too. Because experiments help prove to your brain that you can live with less. So this is how I like to approach decluttering when you're first starting out. I mean, it's similar to what I did, but it is a little bit more refined because I went through it and I can give you the little shortcut. First, you need to pinpoint what overwhelms you. I'll give you an example. For me, it was the dishes. And the second thing you need to do is run an experiment. 3 to 5 days, maybe a week, whatever works for you. And then third, reflect on how you feel after your experiment. This is a personal example for me. My biggest issue, or one of my biggest pain points early on, was the dishes. We just had a mountain of dishes all the time. We didn't have a dishwasher in our home, and we still haven't had a dishwasher in our home. Let me walk you through this. This is what I did when I first realized that dishes were a pain point for me. Dishes felt like a constant thing that I had to do. There was always something to wash. Often I built it so much in my head that I just dreaded doing them. So I created an experiment. I drastically cut down on the dishes that we had in our cupboards. And I tucked those extra bowls and dishes away in case I felt like I needed them. So I just put them in a tote in my basement. during this experiment. So each of us had a cup, a coffee cup, a plate, 2 plates, and a bowl for all of us. And I, tucked away all those dishes, and suddenly I was able to keep up because I didn't have a choice. I short-circuited my brain. Oh, I don't have another dish in the cupboard. I need to wash that now. It wasn't because I became a different person. It's because I removed the option to delay my task. The convenience of grabbing another dish had been easier than washing the one I was using immediately. And that was a huge transformation for me. Once I realized that I am doing this to myself because I'm not following through, I decluttered half of our dishes after that. I didn't take back the things that we had or the things that we didn't use. I kept my absolute favorites and let go of all the rest because I realized I don't need to be hanging on to all of things. We don't have people over that often, so it's like, why am I holding on to all these extra bowls and dishes that are pretty, but I don't use on a daily basis? Or if I do, they just end up cluttering my sink because I had too many of them. So I've ran other experiments with decluttering and things like that. And a similar experiment was a 10-item capsule wardrobe for the summer. I just wanted to see what it was like. I just wanted to see what I actually enjoyed wearing. And really, so my main hypothesis. The main question I was wondering is, would it make getting dressed easier? And would I actually not get bored of the things that I was wearing? And I'll be honest, it did. I did the same thing with my kids' toys. I put most of them away and only brought things out once they asked for them, just to see how they played and what mattered to them. And I'll be honest, it was not that much. They did not ask for much. So each time I've done these experiments, I've learned more about myself. I've learned more about my family. So the main point here is that decluttering isn't really about getting rid of the things. It's really about easing your mental load, gaining clarity, and learning what you value and how you actually want to live. Now, it's a process and it takes time, especially for moms. I think it's really one of the most worthwhile process you could put yourself through for you and for your family. So I want you to know that you don't need more. You already have enough. And sometimes you just need to clear the noise in order to see what really matters. And I hope this reframes how you think about decluttering and what it can give you outside of a calmer home and outside of a tidy home. So if this is something that you're like, wow, that really changed the way that I think about decluttering, I have a small challenge for you. It's called the Calm Home Kickstarter. It's a completely free 7-day challenge where you go through and simplify your home. So if that sounds like something that you need, you can follow the link in the description below, and I'll take you through a 7-day challenge of creating small yeses and building momentum in your home and giving you a sense of peace and calm in your home. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.